Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. As you can probably hear in my voice, I am recovering from a bit of laryngitis, maybe a virus, but I did not want my Healthy Her community to go a week without an episode. So you get to enjoy my sexy, manly voice today on the podcast, and hopefully it will hold out until the end of the episode. So bear with me today. I just want to start by sharing with you a Hype Gal member win, and stay with me on this because I want to share this with you because it links perfectly into what I'm going to talk about on today's podcast episode. If you are new here, my Hype Gal members is my signature membership, the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership. And inside the membership, I teach busy women just like you how to lose weight and keep it off. For women that have tried it all, that have been dieting on and off for years, that maybe have lost some weight, but it keeps just coming back on and they just can't figure out why they can't make this thing work. And that is what the membership is all about. It's about you being empowered and taking back your control so that you can understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and so that you can implement those changes and be able to do them after you leave the membership so that you're fully equipped to eat healthy and also enjoy a burger and a wine for the rest of your life. So I want to share this Hype Gal member win with you. So in our Facebook community group, we're posting things and the women are commenting. And every single Monday, we do like a check-in post, set your intentions. And this particular Hype Gal member, she posted on our Monday intentions and our weigh-in post about how she'd stood on the scales and the scales were up 2.5 kilos. And she then continued to mention that she was getting her period, that it was that time of the month, and that it's probably just because of that. She was a little bit concerned, but she was sort of sharing that she thinks it's because of this, and she was posting in that group for that accountability. Now, at the end of that week, she also posted something else in our community, and she said that she just listened to a podcast episode and she jumped back on the scales and she had lost 2.5 kilos. And she was just talking about how it's so important to have that knowledge and understanding of yourself and also that accountability in the Facebook community, because this is why accountability is so important. And that's what this podcast topic today is all about, because we hear it all the time. We just need to be more accountable. Be more accountable to yourself. But no one actually breaks that down and explains to you what it is, what it means, how to do it, how to be more accountable. But I wanted to share that example with you of our Hype Gal member win because she didn't lose 2.5 kilos in a week. That's not what happened. But this is why the accountability is so important, because she said this herself in her own words. Prior to joining the membership, she would have quit. And I know that you're listening to this and I know that you can relate because I have had so many moments like that too, where you stand on the scale and you're like, oh crap, I've put on a kilo. Or I've put on 500 grams, or I've put on 2 kilos. And when you understand your body and when you understand how fat loss works, you learn to not worry about that stuff because the smart woman in you says, you know what, that's actually not possible. Like I've done this, I've been eating well, I've been doing my exercise. I understand that's actually physically not possible for me to have gained 2.5 kilos in that week. And having that accountability group, so whether it's the Facebook community, whether you've got a girlfriend, it's a friend that you're doing your journey with, Having that accountability is so important because the number one problem that we experience as women when it comes to improving our health and our wellness and our exercise habit is quitting. That is the biggest blocker that you have, is quitting. And it's in those moments because you second guess yourself. You stand on that scale and you go, oh, I've put on 2.5 kilos. And you feel gutted, like you feel like a failure. You feel so upset. And you question everything. You're like, okay, well, maybe this is the wrong thing and maybe I should jump to something else. And then you start looking at shiny other programs and other things that in diets and things that you've seen online that you should be trying. When all you needed was some accountability, when all you needed was someone in your corner that went, you know what, it hasn't put that much on this week. What else is going on in your life? It's all time of the month, I've had this, da, da, da. And you very quickly, like I said, you check back in with the smart woman that's inside of you that says, you know what, that's actually not possible. And you keep going. And like I said, now she's 2.5 kilos down. And that's all because she had that accountability with herself, with her Hype Gal community members, and she trusted the process and stayed the course. And this is, like I said, it's the biggest blocker that we have is this need to quit. Every time it's not perfect, we quit. Scales up, oh, mustn't be working, we quit. And I also want to mention too that this particular Hype Gal member is almost 18 kilos down. Now, you think she would not be almost 18 kilos down if she didn't have that accountability because she would have just gone, scales are up, I'm going to quit. And then she would have left the program. She would have said, okay, I'll try again later when things get easier or life slows down a bit. And then she would have been stuck in this continual yo-yo dieting cycle. So today we are going to change that for you. We are going to help you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you through step by step how you are going to be more accountable to yourself. And there's going to be a little bit of tough love in this one. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you on a few different things. But I think for a lot of you, you're going to have that aha moment where you go, yeah, that's actually me and I need to be more accountable to myself. And I really always want to be having these conversations with you because we don't talk about this stuff as women. We talk about cutting calories and the 1,200 calorie meal plan and the over exercising and all these things. But no one actually says to you, hey, you know what? You're missing some accountability and this is how we're going to work on it. We're not having the conversations and we're not talking about the things that actually change things, that actually move the needle, that actually start making progress for you towards the things that you want. So let's jump in. What is accountability? Because you need to understand what that word means in order to have the knowledge and the power and to take back your power. So listen to this. What is accountability? The actual definition is taking responsibility for your own actions and decisions. Taking responsibility for your own actions and decisions. That is spot on accurate when it comes to healthy eating, wellness, weight loss, exercise, whatever you are trying to work on for yourself. It's taking responsibility for your actions, behaviors, and decisions. And here's where the brutally honest, tough love part comes in. I'm going to be really honest with you and say that I truly started to see some shifts and some changes, and I really felt like I started to actually make progress when I started showing up for myself and eating better. Like these things really started to shift when I did this one thing. When I finally decided to take radical self-accountability for myself. And it's that point where you take full responsibility for your actions and decisions. And here is the part that no one talks about. When you get to this point and you start to take that radical accountability for yourself, it is bloody uncomfortable. You feel really uncomfortable. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because you have to accept in this moment that you are where you are because of the choices, the actions, and the decisions that you have made up to this point. You have to shift from years of blaming everything outside of you. So for me, it was like, well, I'm a mum now and I don't have time to exercise. I'm too tired. I don't have time to get to the gym. I always found reasons outside of myself. It was work. It was the kids. It was all these other things outside of myself that I blamed because I wasn't showing up for myself in the way that I wanted. I was blaming all of these outside factors instead of turning inward and looking at myself. And that's where that accountability, that radical self-accountability comes in, because it's in that moment where something switches and it feels really freaking uncomfortable. And you realize that you're exactly where you are because of the choices, the decisions, and the actions that you have made, and that you are the only person that is responsible and the only person that is going to change it. So you switch from that outside blame and from blaming all the things around you, so your work, your circumstances, your family life, your kids. You go from blaming all of those outside factors to taking that accountability yourself and going, well, actually, I'm in this position. For me, I'm 10 kilos heavier than what I want to be. I don't like the person that I see in the mirror. I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. I don't like the way that my clothes look on me. I am this way because of me. I am this way because of the choices and the actions and the decisions that I have made. That's why I'm here. And something happens, something drops, something sparks, something, I can't explain it, but it's pure magic in this moment. As uncomfortable and like it just feels yucky, but it's also freaking empowering. It's also that moment where you go, you know what? This is me. I'm here because of me, and I can change this too. I can actually fix this. I don't have to be in this same place. I can actually take accountability for myself. I can stop blaming outside factors, and I can actually do this for me. And it's where we want to move you from. We want to move you from this constant finding reasons outside of yourself for why it's not working to, you know what? You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for the actions that you take, the choices that you make, the choice where you go, I'm going to go for a walk today, and you don't, and you choose the couch and a packet of Tim Tams instead. That's a choice that you made in that moment. So today we're going to fix that. We are going to flip this and we are going to give you your power back. So as of this moment, as of today, you are going to take radical accountability for yourself, for where you are at, for how you look, for how you feel, for how many times a week you exercise. We are taking your power back in this moment. And this is the moment where everything starts to shift. We're not having excuses anymore. We're taking back our control. We're taking back our power and being responsible for the things that we do in our life. So how do we become more accountable? So we've talked about it. We're like, right, we're flipping the switch. We're doing this. How are we going to make you more accountable for yourself and so you can get things done? So we're going to switch you from, oh, I can't do that, I'm too tired. Oh, I've got kids. Oh, my partner's not home and I won't be able to go. We are going to switch you from all of those excuses to getting stuff done. And I narrowed it down. I think I've got 6 or 7. There's more. Like I've definitely got more, but I really had to like hone it down and just give you my biggest needle mover ones that you can start implementing straight away. Let's jump in. Number 1, make what you want visible. When you keep stuff inside of your head, that is when you lose your accountability. So what I mean by that is when we just think all this stuff in our head as women, like our brains are so busy, but you think this a lot of stuff. You think, okay, well, I should have some protein with my lunch. Okay, you're rushing around at work and then you're like, after work, I'm going to go for a walk. All of this stuff in your head, when you keep it in your head and it is not visible, you lose your accountability because it's just stuff, really, let's be honest, isn't it? When it's floating around in your head, it is just stuff. We want to take the stuff, the thoughts, the intentions that you have and turn them into actions. So this is where making what you want visible is so important. So some things that you might like to do, put a photo on the fridge. Put a photo on the fridge, one of your starting photos, put it on the fridge. That's your motivation. You don't want to feel like that person again. You don't want to show up as her again. Put her on the fridge. Then she's visible. Healthy dinner, right? You've got work all day. The kids have got soccer practice after school. What's for dinner? Print off your recipe. I know also too, a lot of our Hype Gal members will do this. They'll print the recipe and put it on the fridge so that their partners and their family know what's for dinner. Or if, they've got older kids and they get home before she does, that they will pop it on the fridge so that they can actually make a start on the dinner. Again, it's visible. It's out of your head that I'm going to make a healthy dinner tonight. It was actually physical and visible on the fridge for you to see. Another one, workout plan in your diary, thinking, oh, yeah, might go to the gym this week if I feel like it. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Again, it's just stuff. It's all just stuff floating around in your head. We want to make it visible. So write your workouts in your diary. Monday, gym, I'm going to do arms. Wednesday, I'm going to do a class. Friday, I'm going to go for a walk after work. Write it down, and so it's visible. The more that you make your goals and the things that you want to do visible, the more likely you are going to be accountable and the more likely you are going to achieve them. And like I said, it's moving from that, it's just stuff in your head, to actually getting it down in front of you. And, it's a cue. It's like a cue to your brain. That photo on the fridge, the healthy dinner, the workout, it's a cue. It's a prompt. It's going, okay, you know what? That's the thing I said I was going to do. And I'm actually going to follow through and do that thing. Number 2, track one thing. We get this so wrong as women. We think that we get that burst of motivation and it's, I'm going to change everything and I'm going to work out more, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to drink more water. And you become overwhelmed because you're trying to do so much at once, and then it becomes too hard. So you just quit. Track one thing. This week, say 7 days, say I'm going to track one thing and I'm going to work on improving that one thing. Okay, it could be I'm going to track my steps for a week. It could be I'm going to track my protein for a week. It could be I'm going to drink 2 liters of water every day, track it for a week. You will notice a significant difference when you just start focusing on 1 or 2 things instead of trying to change everything at once. Tracking and changing everything at once just often leads to failure because it's too much. And I don't know why, and this is something I will talk about a lot, is that it's okay to be a beginner. It's okay for you to learn about healthy eating and wellness. It's okay for you not to get that boost of motivation. Right, I'm going to change my life and I'm going to lose 10 kilos and I want to feel amazing, and not have it all figured out from day one. I feel like it's something that is so untalked about. And healthy eating and weight loss and consistency and learning to have a balanced, healthy lifestyle is a skill. It is like any other skill, any other new thing that you need to learn. It takes time. You practice it. You fail it a few times. You keep going. You want to quit. You get better. That is the process. And so I really want to normalize. It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to not get it all right from the get-go, but it's the waiting and the waiting for this perfect moment that's keeping you stuck and holding you back, where you could choose one thing, you could track it for a week, and at the end of the week, you could have made progress simply by taking that action and moving yourself forward. Tip number 3, and this is going to resonate with you probably the most: stop relying on motivation. Stop it. Stop waiting to feel like it to do the thing. And this is something that probably no one's actually explained to you, but it's crazy. You don't get motivated first and then go and work out. You get the motivation after you do the thing, after you work out. I know it's crazy. I don't understand the brain science behind it, but that's what happens. So you're over here sitting here waiting, going, oh, I just don't feel like it and I just won't go today. That boost of energy, that boost of endorphins, that, I want to do this again and I feel really good and I'm pumped and I want to take better care of myself. That comes after you do the exercise. So stop waiting for motivation, because 1, it's not coming, and 2, it's not something that you can rely on. You just can't rely on it. Motivation doesn't show up because you want it to. It shows up after you do the thing. So I guess have some trust in that and go, you know what, if I actually go and do this thing, I remember what Jen said and it's going to show up after. I'm going to feel the endorphins after. I'm going to feel good after. I'm going to want to go back to the gym after. So you just need to push past those initial 5 minutes where your body's going, I'm a bit sore and I don't feel like doing it today and I'm a bit tired. If you can push past that and get yourself to your workout, to the gym, you will feel amazing afterwards and the motivation will come afterwards. Tip number 4. This kind of links in well with what I was talking about with regards to being a beginner. Lower the bar. You don't need to be perfect to do something, okay? You don't have to do it perfectly. And like I said, I don't know where this crap came from that healthy eating and wellness had to be perfect. It had to be the perfect workout and the perfect day of eating and the perfect sleep and the perfect meal, and all of these things had to just be perfect in order to succeed. Lower the bar. reduce the expectations and the standards that you have for yourself. You are so much better to show up for yourself every single day at 50% capacity than not at all. Think about that. Doing nothing, doing 50% for the next month, you're going to make some progress. Hell yes, you are.
I've lost 17.3 kilos as a busy full-time working mum in perimenopause. And for years before that, I felt like a failure. I had tried every diet. I'd start strong, fall off, start again, and the weight always came back. I honestly believed there was something wrong with me. Then I found Jen and the Healthy Eating Hype Girl membership. For the first time, healthy eating felt realistic. I never felt like I was on a diet. I'm still a Hype Girl now. There's no pressure to be perfect, no restrictions, just simple steps I can stick to. And that's when everything really changed for me. This isn't just about following a challenge or fixing one problem. The membership teaches you how food, habits and overeating actually works, so you're set up for life, not another restart. I've let go of yo-yo dieting. I feel amazing in my new body and I'm finally loving buying new clothes again. The coaching calls and masterclasses gave me the knowledge and support I'd been missing and helped me stop quitting on myself. My name's Kel, and if you're struggling, I promise it's not you. You just haven't been taught weight loss the right way. This membership has truly been life-changing for busy women like me. You need to join right now.
But we need to lower the bar, and we need to lower those ridiculously high expectations that have been set for us as women. And like I said, I've got no idea where it came from or how it's developed over time. That's what health and wellness needs to look like. But lower the bar, because this perfection that you have for yourself is killing your accountability. It's killing your consistency. It's killing your ability to show up and repeat 4 days worth of Pilates across a 7-day week. It's killing your consistency. So what do I mean by lower the bar? A 10-minute walk counts. Again, I don't know where we've got this message as women that this is somehow it's not good enough or it doesn't count, or the 10-minute walk that you do is not the same as the hour gym workout. It absolutely is. Lower the bar. A 10-minute walk counts. A healthy high-protein breakfast counts. Choosing water over Coke and soft drink, that counts. It's all of the small stuff that you do that truly counts. But you have to reduce the perfectionist mindset that you have for yourself and start to lower the bar. And I can tell you, because I don't know if I'd say I'm fully healed or fully past my perfectionist era, but I've definitely gotten better at it. I would so be the person, I would never start anything. And my mum will guarantee and look me up on this. Hi, Mum, if you're listening to this. She will say, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I would never do anything unless I could guarantee that I would do it perfectly. So I just wouldn't start. I'd be like, well, I'm not doing that because I don't know how to do it or I can't do it perfectly. And so I'd say I'm a recovering perfectionist, but it's definitely something that I've gotten better at over the years. So if you're a type A personality girly and you like everything to be perfect and you just want to do this health and wellness thing perfectly and you haven't quite figured it out, I see you and I can totally relate and understand how you feel. Number 5 out of the 7 that I have narrowed it down for you. So number 5, this is my reset rule, and I teach this inside our membership, inside the Healthy Eating Hype Girl community. So my reset rule, instead of, I've ruined my whole day because I had a block of chocolate. We are not doing that anymore. So this is your reset rule. I'm back on track at my very next meal. That's it. You know, why? Because you've eaten one thing that wasn't on your plan. Do you have to ruin the rest of your day? And it's something that you have to make a mindset shift about. So we have this belief that, like, I had a great breakfast, I had my morning snack, I had a really high protein lunch, mid-afternoon came, ate 2 donuts at work. I've ruined my day. Well, actually you haven't. You need to look at your day as a whole instead of meals in isolation. So if you look at that whole day of example that I just gave you, if you think about it, because we're all smart women here, those 2 donuts that you had in the afternoon are like, 10% of the rest of your day of eating. You had a high protein breakfast, you had a good lunch, you had a healthy snack in the morning. Why do we have to just focus on the 2 donuts in the afternoon and say, I've ruined my day? I'm just going to give up now. Have a reset rule for yourself that I'm just going to get back on track at my next meal. So I've eaten the 2 donuts at work. I'm going to go home and I'm going to make a big healthy dinner. And I might have a protein pudding and some strawberries and fruit after dinner. Again, and then those 2 donuts becomes that 10% of your day, and it doesn't control your whole day, because I see this so often and I have many conversations, and this is one that always comes up in our coaching calls. We run 2 coaching calls in the membership every single month. And it's this mindset shift that we have to make as women to see our day as a whole, a week as a whole, and not just one meal, because that's what we focus on. We only ever focus on the one failure that we made. We don't ever focus on all of the other little opportunities that you have in your day to make good choices for yourself. And I see it all the time. It's, but I missed this and I missed that. That's great. You may have missed that opportunity, but you still got 5 others in the day that you could go with. And this is definitely one of the biggest out of these 7 biggest keys that you need to start moving towards, is that it's that waiting to go again that keeps you stuck. Just think about this for a sec. Okay, I want you to just think about this for a sec. Think about all the times that you have quit on yourself because you had one bad meal. Think about in all of those moments, if you just picked up and gone again at your next meal. Think about where you would be now. Think about how much weight you would have lost. Think about how you would feel about yourself. Think about how your clothes would be fitting now, just by that small switch. Again, it's a small thing, but it's massive. So have a reset rule. Use my reset rule. I'll teach it inside the membership. Have that as a reset rule. I had my 2 donuts. I'm just going to get back on track at my next meal. It is a game changer. Number 6 of how we are going to make you more accountable to yourself. Build self-trust and self-discipline. This is so important. And accountability and self-discipline and sort of self-responsibility, they are similar and they are very closely linked. To build your self-trust with yourself, you have to do the things that you say you're going to do. And I spent years not doing the things that I said I was going to do. I just didn't do them. And what that does over time is it slowly chips away as your self-confidence as a woman, because you think, I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. I can't do hard things. And that's purely come about because every single time that you have said that you are going to do something, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm not going to order takeaway tonight. In those moments, you haven't shown up for yourself. And so your self-confidence just starts to take a beating after beating. And then after a few years, you have none left. You don't think that you can do hard things anymore. And you can. It's just that you've eroded away at your self-confidence and at your self-trust. So to do that, you just have to keep the promises that you make to yourself, because this is where your confidence grows. People look around and they go, and you see people and you're like, wow, he or she, they just look really confident and they just seem to have it all together. No, they don't. Promise you they don't. It's just that they have built their confidence and their self-trust with themselves, that if they say they're going to do something, they follow through and they do that thing. It's the same with if you have a friend that continually bails on you. You're supposed to catch up for coffee. Oh, sorry, I can't make it. You're supposed to meet for lunch and she's, oh, sorry, I've got other plans. You're not going to then rely on that person, are you? You're going to go, you know what? She's probably not someone that I need as a friend in my life right now because she never makes time for me. It's the same with you. You need to build your self-trust and build your self-discipline, and it links in beautifully with you becoming more accountable to yourself, because that is how it happens. And my last one, and I know I've bombarded you with lots of things today, but I'm really hoping that this topic and this podcast and this episode is really going to resonate with you. Number 7, and this is the secret hack. The secret hack to speed all of this up. The secret hack to speed all of the goals that you want, future version of you that you want. This is the secret hack of exactly how you're going to speed that up. Get support. Get accountability people around you that can support you. And I'm going to explain to you why this is so important. When you do it alone, you significantly increase your chances of quitting. Now think back to that hype gal example of the 2.5 kilos that I gave you. In those moments, that is where we quit, okay? And I could list off 1,000 moments like that where we've had inside the membership, okay? Where a woman has posted in the group, oh, Jen, the scales are up this week. Oh, Jen, I've had like a couple of bad days and I haven't eaten. Like, I feel so bad. What am I going to do? Like, I've undone all my work. It's in those moments that you need the support. You need someone in your corner, okay, that is going to stop you from quitting, because that's literally what is missing for you. It's your desire to quit when you can't do it perfectly. So it's in those moments. That's why the community, that's why we have a Facebook community inside the membership, because you have that accountability. All right. So when you're feeling like that and you're like, oh, I've put on 2 kilos, or I've been to the gym for a week because I've been really sick, what am I going to do? When you just want to quit because it's not perfect, you have someone to turn to. You have some support. So our members have me when I'm in there. And same, when this Hype Gal member commented on her 2.5 kilos, I commented back and I told her, I said, yep, it's most likely your period and it's this and this. And I said, just don't worry about it. Continue on with your usual habits. Eat your normal meals. Do your workouts. And magic. She lost 2.5 kilos. And again, it's having that accountability. Again, she didn't lose 2.5 kilos. We've talked about that. But it's having that accountability. It's having that person that's going, you know what? Actually, let's just take a step back and look at this. And it's the same thing if someone's posting about, well, but I haven't done it perfectly this week and I've only been able to have a high protein breakfast on these days and I've only done 2 gym workouts, and I can jump in. I'm the accountable person. The other Hype Gal members can comment on this post too and they're like, you know what, actually, you've done this and this. You're doing this and this. Just be patient, trust the course, and just go with it, and just wait until next week when we do our Monday intentions and our check-in with each other post. And 99.9% of the time, when I open up my Facebook on a Monday morning, there is a post from that woman that says, oh, I've stood on the scales this morning and I'm 1.3 kilos down. You need accountability and you need support so that you don't quit on yourself. You are your worst enemy. You are your worst enemy. So when things aren't going perfectly, you get up in your own head and all the thoughts start spiraling that I haven't had a good week and I didn't do this and yada, yada, yada. And then we quit. Support is your secret hack. Want to speed it up? Want to stop quitting on yourself? Want to stop dieting for years? Accountability and support is the secret hack. You can't do this alone. You don't have to do it alone. Why should you? It's okay to get support. It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to not have this all figured out. You don't have to. You can show up imperfect, messy as a beginner, and just learn and improve as you go. It's as simple as that. And also too, with our Facebook community, you've got a community that's waiting to hear from you. There's the expectation that they're like, okay, well, so she said that this has happened. She's put on 2.5 kilos. Okay, so we're waiting. Like, so what's happened afterwards? And as well too, reading and seeing all those things is a boost for your motivation, that it just shows you what's possible for you too, that you can actually do these things when you stop quitting on yourself and when you're building that knowledge and that education and that learning about yourself, that the scales don't go up that much overnight. And that's why you need that support and that's why you need that accountability. And just to finish off on today's episode is, here's the honest truth. You don't struggle with knowing what to do. You struggle with doing it consistently. So this is an accountability problem, not a knowledge problem. Truth. So you know what to do. You know you need to eat more protein, you need to move more, but you don't quite know how it all fits together and you don't quite know how to be accountable. That's why you get support. That's why you get people in your corner. That's why you get people that can pull you up and go, you know what, Jen, you're being a little bit ridiculous. Think about all these amazing things that you've done this week. Just be patient. The weight will come off and you're doing all the things, and just keep showing up. That's why you need to be more accountable to yourself. And like I said, whether you're on where you are on your own journey and stuff like that, like I just really hope that this has resonated with you, because it's in that magic moment where you go, you know what? I'm actually responsible for where I am and how I feel and how I look. Everything shifts because you realize that you're actually in control. You have more control than what you think. And it all just comes down to you making some changes and starting to make some better choices for yourself. I hope that this has given you loads of things to think about. And also too, if you love the podcast, because I get so many beautiful messages from you every single day about different episodes that you loved or ones that have resonated with you, pop a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, because it would mean the world to me. And it also just lets other women know that this is a safe space there's lots of useful, practical tips that actually make sense for busy women here. So if you have a spare second, I would be super grateful if you could leave some 5 stars and also a review. Thank you so much for joining me in today's podcast episode, and I'll catch you all in our next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @TheActiveBod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.